You must step into the wilderness. There is no way around it. If you are going to become the man you are capable of becoming, you are going to have to leave familiar ground. You're going to have to move before you have clarity, carry responsibility before you feel ready, continue when nothing around you confirms that you chose the right road. Because leadership does not begin when other people start following you. It begins when you can carry what has already been placed in your hands through difficult ground without abandoning it. Before anyone follows you, you have to learn how to cross the wasteland yourself. Before Moshe leads a people through the wilderness, he drives a flock to the far side of it. Ahar Hadmidbar, to the far side of the wilderness. And there, he encounters the mountain. You see, the responsibility comes first, then the crossing, and then the mountain. Clarity comes after the crossing, not before it. The wilderness will take things from you. Comfort first, then certainty, and then the illusion that you can control how this journey unfolds. There are going to be stretches where nothing confirms that you have made the right decision. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be tired. You're going to look back toward familiar ground and remember how much easier it was when you were there. And you see, this is where courage matters. Not when the mountain is visible. It's when all you can see is more wilderness before you, and you choose to keep moving. You choose to carry the responsibility, and you refuse to make discomfort your compass. Because hunger does not mean you are lost, and uncertainty does not mean you chose the wrong road. The wasteland is where you find out whether your faith requires reassurance in order to survive. Whether you can continue when there is nothing around you telling you that you are becoming anything at all. This is fortitude, the refusal to let fear determine your direction. And eventually, the wilderness begins to quiet everything else. The voices telling you who you are, the expectations, the identities you learn to perform, the version of yourself that depended upon other people recognizing you. Out here in the wilderness, none of that can carry you. Eventually, there is only the man and the direction that man has chosen to keep walking. And if you have the strength to remain on that road, the wasteland comes to an end. There is another side. And on the far side of the wasteland is the mountain. It is only after you have braved the hazards and chaos of the wilderness that you find the mountain on the other side. But reaching the mountain, it is not the same as ascending it, because first you must hear the voice. You have spent the wilderness in movement, enduring, carrying what was placed in your hands. But what carried you through the wasteland is not enough for what comes next. At the mountain, you stop. You pay attention. The bush is already burning, and you must turn aside to see it. And from the center, the voice calls your name. You see, the wilderness, it required fortitude, but the mountain, it requires presence. You have to become still enough to hear, focused enough to see, fully present before the divine. And when the voice calls your name, Hineni, here I am. Here I am, present and listening, oriented toward the divine word. Because when the voice comes, it does not simply give you clarity, it gives you responsibility. You see, the mountain is not where you are told how exceptional you are. It is where you discover what is required of you. You see, the flock was preparation. The wilderness, it was preparation. What looked small was teaching you how to carry something much larger. And this is where potential becomes more than possibility. It becomes duty. It becomes actualization. But you see, actualization has a cost. You must make a decision and decide how you will respond to what the voice has revealed. Most men imagine their potential in terms of what it will give them: authority, purpose, influence, a larger life. But the mountain shows you what it will demand, what you will have to carry, and what you will have to confront, and what sacrifice needs to be made. Because the man who arrived at the mountain cannot remain the man who entered the wilderness. You see, the sacrifice is this: the old you has to die. The man built around comfort, the man who needed certainty, and the man who required recognition is not able to carry this mantle. The voice enlarges the responsibility. Yesterday's sheep, now a people. The man who crossed the wilderness alone is being sent back through it. Only now he shall lead others and they will follow. So now the question really is yours. Will you step into the wilderness? Will you carry what has been placed in your hands when there is no audience and no certainty? When there is no guarantee of what waits on the other side? Do you have the fortitude to endure the hunger, the emptiness, the silence? Will you keep moving until the familiar is far behind you and the mountain looms in front of you? Because the wilderness is not the destination, the mountain is. And the mountain is not there simply to show you who you might become. It is where the voice calls your name and tells you what will now be required of you. You have to cross. You have to reach the mountain, and you must turn aside. You have to hear the voice. And when it calls your name, you have to be able to answer. Hineni, Adonai. Here I am.